Don't take mine.
I won't take mine.
Well, Ellen, thank you, and I would just like to reassure my BNY Mellon colleagues here, everything's fine. Just hearing the telling of it is daunting to me, and I'm honored to be here today. Wouldn't be here if it weren't for the help and support of so many of you in the room. I actually grew up in a loving and stable middle-class home with parents who were completely in my corner. As a child, I actually resented this good fortune. After rejecting the heroines of fairy tales who achieved their success by falling into a deep sleep, I became enchanted by heroines who survived great adversity. Sarah Crewe in The Little Princess, Mary Lennox in The Secret Garden, and then, of course, Jane Eyre and Anne Frank. I deeply admired their resilience and longed for my own chance to be tested in the crucible of tragedy and destitution. So although I had an active fantasy life as a deprived child, I launched with loving and enthusiastic support from my family. They thought I could do anything. I knew that's what they thought, and I believed them, which, as things have turned out, begot more family that has supported me with love and enthusiasm. My husband has been, as you can imagine from Ellen's recitation, and continues to be a true partner. We had the good fortune to have 3 beautiful, healthy babies who have grown into amazing adults. And I found my way to an entire community of support, without which I would not have been able to keep all of the balls in the air, at least the important ones. Here's an example that keeps me humble. It was 1994. I was working at the White House, which was a 3-year stint where I barely saw daylight, much less my children. Willie, my youngest, who's now Will, was in the 1st grade. As snuggly and adorable as he was, his language skills were lagging. His teachers were concerned enough to have him tested and had convened a meeting with the specialist to report the results to us. As we sat down for the meeting with Willie's teachers and the specialist, Hillary paged me. I don't remember the crisis, but it was something urgent. I excused myself to take her call. No sooner had I returned to the table when she called again. Again, I excused myself. I could tell the specialist was getting annoyed, and my apologies became more energetic and profuse. When I returned from the 3rd call, the specialist, exasperated, said, "Let me get to the bottom line and say this fast. There's nothing wrong with this child that a little time with his mother wouldn't fix." I can't even retell this story without hyperventilating. I was stunned. His teachers, who were great fans of the Clinton presidency, and my husband gasped. They all knew and understood my role and believed that enabling my work for the president was vital. His teachers immediately devised a program to work with Willie in ways that would fill the gap. They and others from the school community wrapped their arms around our family during this time and helped keep us whole. They were amazing, like many others along the way who have similarly been the village that has enabled my success. Will, by the way, in addition to being one of the most talented users of the English language that I know, other than my journalist son Ben, who is here, also speaks Spanish and Arabic. In addition to a wonderful and enduring community of support, I was fortunate to find my way to amazing mentors and role models who replaced the desperate heroines of my childhood with practical lessons on how to be a problem solver. Many, of course, have been men. as those with stature in my areas of work mostly have been men. None had a greater effect on me than Lloyd Cutler, who took pains to show me that if one worked hard enough and was thoughtful enough, there was always a way forward. He was the consummate problem solver who made room for me under his wing when I was smart enough to seize an opening, and he remained a mentor and a friend until his death. But we all know that, unlike my story, far too many women and girls confront life with limited tools to achieve economic and even personal security in our society. We who have figured this out, as others before me have acknowledged as well, have an obligation to engage with energy, commitment, and in recognition of those on whom we have relied for our own success, to broaden and make easier the path for those who follow. We need to take seriously the importance of our mentoring, and we need to support the work of organizations like Legal Momentum, who work every day to ensure that critical policies and services will be responsive to the realities of the lives of women and girls. So thank you for this award. I'm honored to be here.
Please welcome